be a fun one, guys. All right, let's have ourselves a Friday night session. Let's run it up. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I really appreciate everyone in here, okay? 7 p.m. on the West Coast. I know it's getting a little bit late. We're going to run through this one real quick for you guys. Complete update. We have the Bank of International Settlements endorsing cryptocurrency. You heard it right here. The Bank of International Settlements, the BIS, the Basel Committee, has endorsed crypto assets, and they've basically provided a new framework, guidance, rules for how much crypto they're willing to let their banks hold. So they don't want to let their banks go all in on crypto, but they're going to let them hold just a little bit, I'm going to get into it though. Full update for you guys here tonight, cryptocurrency, current events, and the greatest transfer of wealth in world history. I appreciate all of you guys so much. Okay, let's get it running. 16,686 is the price of Bitcoin. I got 1,100 for Ethereum, and XRP's back down to 35 cents. So yeah, the market is back down. Let's take a look here at the chart for us. Excuse me. So this chart has played out just perfectly. I mean, I showed you guys this in the last live stream. I put that top line resistance at 18K, and I was expecting us. I said, going back now for the better part of a month, after we did the collapse last month, I said we could go back on up to 18K and we won't get excited. And that is exactly what we did. Now, at last live stream, we had literally wicked right up to 18K. And as you see over the past couple days there, we did break up. And this is what Bitcoin loves to do. It loves to fake people out, going all the way up above 18,200 before crashing back down here below 17K rather quickly. So, we've been following this thing closely. Had I been trading, had I been still playing around in this market, I would have been entering my Bitcoin shorts above 18K, and obviously we would have made some more money. But I've been telling you guys, I am no longer trading this market because I don't trust any of these exchanges. The liquidity crisis continues to spread, and so I have taken my chips not only off the table, I took my chips and I cashed out and I got the hell out of the casino. I have no plans on going back to the casino until this liquidity crisis is over. But in the meantime, you guys are watching, we've been just calling this thing out pretty much spot on. And this is once again coming back into buying territory for those of us that are looking to dollar cost average on our positions. We are not getting faked out. And that's what's important. It's not so much on buying the absolute bottom. It's about not getting faked out. And time after time again here, we're watching this thing do this little pump and we're calling it out before it happens. For the last month, we said, if it goes on up to 18K, we're not getting excited. Sure enough, 18.2, roll over, back below 17K. On our way much lower, in my opinion. Okay, but let's continue to watch that one. Let's roll on over into the news. Now, former President Donald Trump released his NFT collection. You guys saw that, and it went pretty crazy. 45,000 items sold at $99 each for a total of $4.45 million total. Okay, and then I see here that on OpenSea, people are already doubling up their money. Someone just resold this NFT right here for 4.5 Ethereum. That's $5,500, $5,400. Okay, so pretty interesting to see. Now, quick point: many people missed the big announcement with Trump. Okay, the big announcement with Trump was not his NFT trading cards. That is not how this guy operates. Forget your opinion. I'm not going to interject my opinion about Trump either. So put your opinion on the guy to the side as well. This is not about your opinion on Trump. The big announcement was that if you listen closely, he did a whole other announcement about free speech and what he's going to do once he is inaugurated. Now, to me, I picked up on that right away, and many people would just glance over that. Okay, Trump is saying that, when he gets elected again, he's going to, enact some laws that are going to protect free speech. It's the confidence in the way that he presents it as if it's a guaranteed certainty. For those of you guys that believe in affirmations, manifestation, and the law of attraction, understand where I'm coming from. But maybe you don't like Trump. Maybe you get offended by Trump. I don't care what your feelings are about Trump. I'm here to tell you that he's coming back. And that was the major announcement from that day. And I'm not here to say that I think that the NFT thing was, a cool thing that he did. I don't really care for Trump launching an NFT project. But nonetheless, it is a big shift from being completely against cryptocurrency, basically being pro-dollar, and basically saying that he had no interest in crypto, to now launching an NFT project out of nowhere was a big surprise. But I think that people glossed over the big announcement, which was his just the certainty and the way that he said after he gets inaugurated again, he's going to enact these free speech laws. And for me, it's just part of the predictions, part of the show. We do believe that Trump is going to be coming back into power, whether you like it or not, whether I like him or not. Our opinion aside, this is how the world stage is going to play out. And so we're going to continue to watch this one as it proceeds here. You guys are seeing January 6th committee is considering asking the DOJ to pursue at least 2 criminal charges against Trump. Okay. And then we have this one. Sorry. Oh, I missed it. Okay. I missed it. Yeah, maybe I didn't pull it up. But basically some House Democrats also just enacted a bill or basically brought up a bill that would basically stop Trump from becoming president again by using the 14th Amendment. So not only are they trying to bring criminal charges against him, the January 6th committee, but we also have House Democrats that are trying to use the 14th Amendment to make sure that he can't even possibly run again, right? On the flip side of that, we have Trump saying with certainty that he will be inaugurated once again. So this is the show that we're watching. Now, it has been proven here, the Twitter files that got dumped just today, that the FBI, DHS, and U.S. state agencies and government-affiliated think tanks colluded with Twitter to censor content on the platform. Now, for many of us, this is not news, right? We suspected that this was the case, and we saw the censorship in real time. And just them having to censor the other side, just having them censor one particular side, one particular message, shows you how threatened they were by that message. Now, this is much more than just Trump. This is just censoring conservatives across the board. It started back in the previous administration when Obama's IRS was going after the conservatives, right? You guys remember that, right? Which that's not, this isn't political, right? Free speech, censorship, the IRS targeting conservatives. That's not political. It shouldn't be political. We don't want this happening in our country, right? And so to watch this show, this joke of a proceeding here, the January 6th committee, all this back and forth, the Twitter files getting dropped, at least we can have some satisfaction in seeing that the truth is finally coming out and that we have been vindicated, understanding that this was taking place, speaking out on this, and getting censored ourselves, getting in trouble ourselves, to now see it all come forward. And like I said, this shouldn't be political. We got to save our country. No matter what side of the aisle you're on, we should not be standing for this. Now, Kim.com doing his part to expose all this, and we love him. God bless him. I gotta say, guys, I gotta apologize because I took a couple of days off there. I caught a little bug. I don't know what it was. I'm back in action here tonight. Not completely 100%. I'm already breaking a sweat, and I might have to be moving a little bit slower here tonight. But I definitely wanted to come on, and we definitely had to bring you guys this session. But I apologize for being off for a couple of days. I myself just got over this bug. It's been going through my family, and so we're been battling that. But we're here back in action for you guys tonight, and we're going to expose it all. Use the hashtag Deep State Crimes to list all of the crimes of the Deep State. This is from Kim.com. This is a crowdsourced effort. Let's expose them together. I start with the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, watch JFK Revisited, and 20 million plus people killed in 37 victim nations since World War II. So, once again, not political. A 3-letter agency, an inside job to assassinate our president. That is not political. And what a country that we have lost here, right? And it all goes back. You see what John F. Kennedy was trying to do with the Federal Reserve, right? And with other things, right? But when you go after that banking cartel, similar to what XRP and Ripple's been doing, right? When you go after, you threaten that existing system, they're willing to go to incredible lengths to silence you. But huge shout out to Kim.com for excuse me, engaging in these Twitter spaces that have been ongoing in the cryptocurrency space, but then taking it further than that, hashtag deep state crimes. Thank God we have, Elon, who's at least allowing us to have some conversations here on Twitter that we weren't able to have once before. Not that I'm a huge fan of Elon per se, but at least we can now have the conversation on this platform. Now, continuing on, this one from XPunkDS. SBF donated a total of $40 million to the Democratic Party, $37 million to the Republican Party, yet must Twitter turn this into a purely Democrats issue? Real-time news, ladies and gentlemen, straight from the bird. And see, that's where I have to agree. Just within the last 24 hours, they basically took down a bunch of liberal journalists' accounts for doxing Elon and whatnot, and whatever. The main point here, guys, is that both sides of the aisle have been sold out. And for me, for you, I think as an American, we just have to stand for the truth. Whether that's Daddy Trump getting exposed, or Mr. Elon the Musk getting exposed, or this whole Sam Bankman-Fried cabal exchange getting exposed, we as an American, and now it's been proven, guys, and it was very clear for many of us, right, that there was obviously an inside job with the JFK job, right? So you go back decades, fast forward here till today, it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. For me, I stand for the truth, and every single day I'm going to continue to show up, and I'm trying to create generational wealth for my family. And I just keep it as simple as that. I'm not going to get caught up in the politics, the left, right, up, down, who's good, who's evil. I know what's good in my heart, and I know what actions I need to take care of my family. And then I'm just going to stand for all truth being revealed. And may God strike down the evil. May we together strike down this evil and try those who have committed crimes against humanity and who have held back us, I see we got a super chat here. Mr. Lucky says, if you got the hokey pokey, you'd have no virus. Well, I didn't have the virus. No, it was a little flu bug or something. It wasn't even the flu bug. I don't even know what it was, man. But no, you know me better than that. Come on. You know me better than that. Continuing on, love to see it, guys. CNBC finally doing some real reporting, calling out Kevin O'Leary. Let's check this one out, guys.
Time goes so quick. It seems like only yesterday, I was totally arguing with you on Squawk Box. You went from Charlie Munger's view on Bitcoin to Michael Saylor's view on Bitcoin. And I actually kidded you about it. I said, who are you? You may know nothing, but you're never in doubt. You're so strident when you said it was just worthless and rat poison. And then 6 months later, you're like this Bitcoin bull. So I didn't understand that conversion. Did that conversion coincide with the 15 million that you got from FTX?
No, I was investing 3.5 years earlier than that. I changed my mind back in early 2018 when I saw the regulators in jurisdictions like Canada, Switzerland, and Abu Dhabi start to change their minds. But I'll tell you what really got me investing, Joe. I mentioned these guest lecturing things I do. They're usually to graduating cohorts of engineers. And so these are classes at 6 to 9 at night. And these are the best and brightest at MIT or in business school at Harvard. I started to notice back in 2018, I'd say, okay, wait, where are you guys going? Where are you going? Because about a third of the class will create entrepreneurial efforts and they'll start businesses. They're all going to the blockchain. You can't spend that much intellectual.
I understand. I believed it back then. I'm just trying to figure out why.
I gotta stop you. Stop you. You just said you made this conversion in what year?
I think it was 2018 I started investing, yeah.
Okay, well, I just for, as a point of fact, for what it's worth, May 14th, 2019, you came on television and called Bitcoin garbage.
Then I'm wrong.
Yep, yeah, exactly. And that's where I'm going to cut that off, is because that's what all these guys do. That's what all these guys do. They're talking their book. So when they want to load up their positions, they want to load up their bags, they come on and they call it garbage, right? They do everything in their power to break down the price so that they can accumulate. And then they flip the script and then they go pro, they go bullish. Then they become a paid spokesperson for the cabal exchange, FTX, and receive $15 million compensation for doing so, right? And on top of that, like I said, he's already talked his book. He's already started to accumulate while making appearances on media, talking it down, calling it garbage, literally. And I went and I did go watch the clip, and it is true. It was back in, I think it was 2018 or 2019, whenever Andrew Ross Gorsenson said that he called it garbage. I went back and actually watched the clip, and it is true. He did call it garbage, and at the same time, he was accumulating cryptocurrency. These guys are all the same, all the same. And it brings us back to the point, guys, you got to be careful who you're listening to, and there's not many people that you can trust in this cryptocurrency space, unfortunately. I try to be one of the real ones. You guys know me. No paid sponsorships. I've never done any paid deals, period. Okay? Now, continuing on, Robert Kiyosaki. Mr. Wonderful Kevin O'Leary doesn't look so wonderful after being a spokesman for SBF Sam Bankman-Fried, who paid him $15 million. Sad. Learn from Kevin's mistakes. Quote, your reputation is worth more than money. So true. So true. Your reputation is worth more than money. Now, Stuart Alderati chiming in once again and calling it out here, general counsel for Ripple. Kevin O'Leary and all other venture investors in FTX should immediately demand that the SEC stop spending taxpayer money on its tag-along case against SBF, since that case only seeks to recover on their behalf. So, once again, the SEC does not care about you and me. We do not get any investor protection. It's only the sophisticated, accredited investors that get protection, right? Now, so not only do they want to move accreditation from $1 million net worth up to $10 million net worth, making it more difficult for you to get in on lucrative investments, but then when they go and they file this case against FTX, they're not worried about getting client funds back. They're not worried about the little crypto kids, me and you, that, had our money on that platform, which most of us did not. I didn't have any money there. But they don't worry about the regular guy. They're only worried about investors like Kevin O'Leary and others being able to get their money back. So Stuart Alderati, huge shout out for calling it out like it is. And it is despicable, right? It is unbelievable. But here we go. We continue to watch this space continue on. Binance drama. Binance outflows hit $6 billion as Mazars halts proof of reserves work. So basically, this firm that had been doing audits, quote unquote audits, of all of the crypto firms has since stopped and withdrawn all of those audits. And let's explain that. So Michael Burry chimes in. This is the problem. In 2005, when I started using a new kind of credit default swap, our auditors were learning on the job. That's not a good thing. Same thing goes for FTX, Binance, etc. The audit is essentially meaningless. And that's what's going on here, guys. These proof of reserves are not true audits, right? When you get financials, say you're going to go buy a business and you want to get financials. What you want is a true audit done by a third party to actually audit the financials, not get the QuickBooks from the other business owner that tells you, hey, trust me, bro, here are the numbers. That's essentially what these proof of reserve audits have been from the crypto exchanges. They're providing the data to these groups, and this group Mazars is just working with those numbers. That's not an audit, and they'll never call it an audit either. They know they won't make themselves liable for that by calling it a legitimate audit. They'll call it a proof of reserves. They'll come up with different sorts of names. There's all sorts of different audits that aren't audits. Okay, a true audit is audited financials by, a legitimate third-party group, and that's completely different from. And what did they just say from FTX? They were literally using QuickBooks, right? Which I have nothing against QuickBooks. I use QuickBooks, but right for an exchange that's handling billions of dollars, you think they would be a little bit more sophisticated than that. But that's why these proof of reserves don't matter. And I will say this. There is kind of a lot of extra FUD. Recently, you just saw that they were, criticizing CZ for his answers on the interview that he gave about being able to give 2.1 billion back. What that was addressing was the 2.1 billion that was invested by FTX, which is why CZ said, I'm going to let the lawyers handle it, because that's a bankruptcy filing that's going to be handled by the lawyers. That's not his clients withdrawing $2 billion. That's the FTX investors trying to claw back the funds from FTX that were $2.1 billion. So a lot of people got confused about that, but then a lot of people ran with that. Now, I'm not here to protect CZ. I'm not here to protect Binance or any of these other exchanges, but I just want to provide clarity and understanding for what we're looking at. You know, these proof of reserves is not a true audit, right? And that $2.1 billion that they asked him to pay back, that's the clawback funds from FTX, which if we're going to claw it back from CZ, then we need to claw it back from what do we have here? The 40 million that went to the Democratic Party and the 37 million that went to the Republican Party. If we're going to claw back the money from CZ Binance, let's claw it back from the Democrats and the Republicans as well, right? Now, continuing on, how is your program working out? Mr. Lucky, thank you for the 6 spot. Old mate Cramer talking crap about XRP on CNBC. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. Basel III implementation starts January 1st, 23. Your thoughts linked. Mr. Lucky, we're about to talk about Basel here shortly. We're about to talk about that here shortly. And I'm about to show you how Jim Cramer's program is working out. Thank you for bringing up Mr. Jimmy Cramer. Jim Cramer Investments Club is down 62% year to date, reporting by CNBC. How is your program working out, Jim Cramer? Well, he hates on XRP, saying that no one's buying it, saying that it's all a Ponzi. His investment club is down 62% year to date. Unbelievable. Now, let's get right into it, guys. This was the title of tonight's session. Basel Committee endorses crypto assets. And this Basel Committee is part of the Bank of International Settlements. And so they put out this announcement today. They met today, December 16th. Major announcement. The Basel Committee has published a global prudential standard for banks' exposures to crypto assets, whereby unbacked crypto assets and stablecoins with ineffective stabilization mechanisms will be subject to a conservative prudential treatment. That is a nice way of saying that we are not going to let our banks go all in on crypto, but we are recognizing crypto assets and we are going to let them hold some. Now, if you look at the PDF document that they released, the prudential treatment of crypto asset exposures is what the document is. I'm not going to read off the full document for you guys, but if you go look at it, essentially what they're saying is that these banks can hold up to 2% of their reserves in these crypto assets. Now, they're also saying that this is supposed to be implemented January 1st of 2025. So, Mr. Lucky, I think you were mistaken in 23. When I looked at the document, it said 2025. But they have kind of their working group on what they're looking to implement in 2003, 2024. But this new framework is supposed to be implemented by January 1st of 2025. But this is what the Bitcoin maxis always run with. Check this out. Bitcoin Magazine, breaking. Bank of International Settlements finalizes policy to let banks hold 2% of reserves in Bitcoin. This is what Bitcoin Magazine always does every single time. Anytime any bank, any group endorses crypto or passes crypto regulations, the Bitcoin Magazine always publishes it as if it's only exclusively Bitcoin. Like the Bank of International Settlement banks are only going to hold 2% of their reserves in Bitcoin exclusively. And this is the type of misinformation that we continue to try to fight through on a daily basis. Now, this is massive though, guys. Not only for endorsing crypto assets, but we covered this last year, right? Basel III implementation. And the new incentives that the Basel III committee was giving to banks for holding the physical gold on their balance sheets and within their vaults, within their physical possession. So basically, they're trying to limit the amount of paper assets that these banks are holding and actually have more of a physical requirement. And then you're seeing now the acknowledgement of crypto assets, very important. And in the document, they distinguish between stable coins and other types of crypto assets as well. But basically the bottom line is that they're going to be able to hold up to 2% of their reserves in crypto assets, which I think is just the beginning, right? I really think that is just the beginning. And I think that will grow as time goes on, as this space matures, and as these assets, as these cryptocurrencies become more stable, I think that you're going to see much more adoption than 2% reserves. I think it's going to grow substantially more than that. But we started covering Basel III and the Bank of International Settlements years ago because Brad Garlinghouse went to a BIS meeting back in 2019, walked into the BIS meeting with Christine Lagarde on his arm, essentially. Not actually, but metaphorically speaking, walked in there with Christine Lagarde, best buds they are, Brad Garlinghouse and Christine Lagarde, who was the former head of the IMF. Now she's the chief of the European Central Bank. They were at the Bank of International Settlements back in 2019. And then now fast forward, we see that they've got new requirements for actually holding the physical gold. And now they have endorsed crypto assets. So I think that we've positioned ourselves accordingly by going all in on our cryptocurrencies and our precious metals that actually have real utility and are the type of assets that these banks and financial institutions are starting to hold on their balance sheet. Not only are we seeing central banks hold a record amount of gold, and we're starting to see these financial institutions, once they have regulatory clarity, are starting to adopt XRP as well, starting to hold it on their balance sheet as well. So love to see it, and we love to stay ahead of the game. Now, continuing on, this is from Bitfinex. On Binance, there is a tremendous amount of leverage that is supported by the value of Binance's own BNB token. Binance allows traders to use BNB token as collateral to trade other cryptos on Binance. Binance will have to go through great lengths to keep BNB prices up. So, as we stated, last bull run, when all of the exchange tokens were pumping, we said all of these exchange tokens have one main use case, and it's providing liquidity on that given exchange. And this is why these exchanges have worked so hard to prop up their tokens. Here in the case of Binance, you were able to use Binance token as collateral to trade other cryptos on Binance. A similar thing on Qcoin, a similar situation on some of these other platforms as well. So we got to watch out, and we cannot trust any of these exchanges. Now, Jemmy says, drinking the apple juice tonight. Yeah, tonight I'm drinking some body armor, and I got some water on the side, and I got a sweat going, and I'm trying to make it through this session with you guys tonight. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for hanging with me as we sweat this one out. Gregory DeRosa, thank you for the 10 spot. Zach, can you drop an XRP one-on-one rant we can show our baby boomer parents over the holidays? No one ties in the big picture like you. Gregory DeRosa, 10 spot. I appreciate that super chat, and I'm about to put on a clinic, an absolute clinic, in a response video to basically a post, a guy calling Ripple a house of cards. You guys may have seen the shorts. I posted on TikTok, and I posted shorts to YouTube. And there's this guy named Filthy Quant on TikTok, and he posted this video about why he thinks Ripple's a house of cards. I took 3 full pages of notes right here. You guys can see this right here, right? God bless this guy. He's about to get absolutely wrecked. But it goes back to the fundamental analysis of Ripple XRP, and we're going to set him straight. But it's going to be a great video that you can show others that are trying to learn about XRP and Ripple. And I'm going to be dropping a lot of content over this holiday break that's going to be essential, critical viewing, and perfect shareable content for you to share with friends and family while you're hanging out on Christmas. So yeah, Gregory, I appreciate that. I appreciate that super chat, and I'm definitely going to be dropping. We're going to go back because, been making content for years, but unfortunately, we still have so much misinformation in the space. And I dropped a video today. I said we got 2 groups. We got a group of good people who are just confused. They're new. They're trying to figure out. They're taking advantage of TikTok, and they are making content. They like having little live streams and getting everyone in the live stream watching them. They like the attention, but they're confused about the facts. In every single live stream, I see them just wrapping their brain, trying to rack their brain around this thing like they're trying to send a rocket to Mars. And I'm like, man, it's really not that hard, guys. If you just go back, listen to Ripple, listen to the developers, explain this technology, explain the business adoption, explain ODL, explain what they're doing with the escrow. It's not rocket science, right? But then you have a group of liars and basically a group of a disinformation campaign. And these guys are running a disinformation campaign because they have a different agenda, they have other incentives, and mostly that's because they're paid shills for other projects, and their incentives do not align with talking about XRP in a positive light, because they want to push you into, like, for example, they want to push you into a BlockFi, or they want to push you into some other DeFi play. They want to push you into some other program that they have as an affiliate, that they're a sponsor for. And so they won't dare touch on XRP and Ripple, because Ripple's not cutting a check to any of us creators. Ripple's never paid me. I've never talked to anyone from Ripple. And you know, this is why these guys, I think some of them just, you know, they're not willing to share the truth about XRP because it damages. They would have to acknowledge the truth that everything else that they've been pushing, well, I mean, it's collapsed before them. So we've been vindicated, right? The paid shills, their programs have completely failed. Not only did we call them out in real time for being paid shills, but we also said that that program was going to fail, that a lot of what the coins that they were pushing were going to fail. Now that's all happened a year later, right? And so that's what we're up against, but that's bringing me back to XRP 101, you know. And back when I got started, I was making a bunch of content on TikTok as far as how the XRP ledger functioned, the basics of XRP, the basics of Ripple, the genesis story, how it all got started. But I'm going to start going back to that once again, because I think it's important, not only as a refresher for those of us that have kind of been in this space, but for helping to bring new people in. And like I said, the main issue for me is not the people that are confused and just don't get it, but the people that are just downright lying and misleading people. It's so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. The people that just have a few $1,000 to invest and they get pushed into some Ponzi scheme. They get pushed into some crap. It's very unfortunate. Gregory, I appreciate that. XLM deep dive was fire, and there's going to be more of that coming. The XDC deep dive is going to be dropping Christmas Day. Yeah, so make sure you guys mark your calendars for that. That's going to be my Christmas gift to you guys. The XDC deep dive is going to be dropping on Christmas Day. So yeah, like I said, over this winter period, I'm going to have a lot of time to be dropping a lot of great content for you guys. And so I'm really looking forward to that. We're really going to take advantage of that. Okay, let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling. This is major. Let's get into the XRP Ripple news. Here we go. Now, Anthony Welfare, this is in regards to the New York Fed advancing the test of the CBDCs for cross-border payments. And Anthony Welfare is the CBDC advisor for Ripple. Many of you guys have probably already heard of Anthony speak at the Swell Conference. He's been making some public appearances lately, speaking on behalf of Ripple and how XRP's ready to enable CBDCs. But this is a quote from this American Banker article. For a digital currency to have any utility to people and businesses, it needs to coexist and interact with other payment schemes in that domestic market. Now, the key part about this trial and about this test, this is a partnership with the Singapore authorities and a project with a network of banks aims to demonstrate the viability and interoperability of CBDCs. But there's also another test, and I think it is actually the same one. Let me see here if I can load this up. New York Fed, the Monetary Authority of Singapore. Now remember, Brad's already been speaking on stage with the Monetary Authority of Singapore. They've already done deals, and XRP is already a currency in Singapore. Now, I'm looking at this article here from American Banker. I don't think this is it. No, there's a different test, though, that they're running right now for CBDCs. The New York Fed with other countries that are in the Eurozone. And the key thing about that, right, is that as soon as you have regulatory clarity in one region, right, then the switch gets flipped on. And we just saw that France and Sweden both announced on-demand liquidity corridors. And now we're seeing that they're working on interoperability for CBDCs in the Eurozone, in London as well, and in Singapore. Oh, and then it was Japan as well. And all of those countries, all of those jurisdictions has classified XRP as a currency. right? And so they're working on interoperability, and that's going to be the key part of these CBDCs is the interoperability and the bridge currency use case, the bridge currency utility, because this is the problem that we have right now. This is the currency war that we're in the middle of. This is why we're having wars in Ukraine right now. Part of the reason is a currency war, right? And how do you solve that? With a bridge currency that is interoperable and neutral, that removes trust from both sides. That's exactly what we need, right? And so as you're seeing, they're moving forward with all these pilots of the CBDCs, and that's going to be major. But then I want to give a huge shout out to Wrath of Conman, because we just found a new major deal here. This is a Ripple partner. Data 443 is a Ripple partner offering data security privacy, including the security and privacy via the XRP ledger. They run a UNL validator. That's the XRP ledger. Recent report of a $350,000 contract noted an agreement with a leading global investment bank headquartered in New York with $2 trillion in assets using their data solution. This contract addition relates to additional licensing for Data 443 Data Placement Manager, an HPE nonstop server-based app for secure managed file transfer enabling customers to schedule, route, format, and securely transfer business-critical data over public and private networks. The obvious questions then, who is the investment bank? Might the XRP ledger or Ripple be involved? Further, they were recently invested in $750,000, moving and looking to uplist it to a bigger exchange soon. And this is real-time payments firm Data 443, which is a Ripple partner. And we see that they just partnered up with a major New York bank with $2 trillion in assets under management. Major. One sec, folks. All right, I apologize. Let's keep it rolling. Now, from Ripple, we're extending the deadline to submit NFT project applications for the Ripple Creator Fund. You now have until January 18th, 2023 to apply to bring your NFTs to life on the XRP ledger. From musicians to fashion designers, apply before it's too late. And remember, guys, this is a massive fund. $250 million NFT fund. Now, it's funny because in this video that I'm going to make tomorrow, and I got all these notes here, this guy's talking about how Ripple is not, basically they're only cash flowing based off of their sales of XRP. But he misses the whole point. And one of the points that I make in this is the investment in the XRP ledger ecosystem. Ripple just continues to dump money back into the ecosystem. And so on paper, they might not be cash flowing if it weren't for XRP sales, but that's because they're giving $250 million to an NFT fund to people that are building on the XRP ledger. Not only that, they're actually sitting on over $1 billion cash, now that we know Brad Garlinghouse has told us that. And oh, by the way, they've spent $100 million battling the SEC. So we got to put that on the expense, on the financial statement, on the cash flow balance sheet. We got $100 million expense to the SEC, $250 million to anybody who's building NFTs on the XRP ledger. And oh, by the way, we are sitting on $1 billion cash right now. And this is where this gets irresponsible. Is this guy had the nerve to compare Ripple to FTX, right? When there's literally no comparison there to be made. And Ripple is actually quoted as being one of the companies that is going to, quote, pick over the carcass of FTX assets. That's right. So while FTX collapse, goes bankrupt, and is left for dead, Ripple is sitting with $1 billion cash, ready to acquire what assets are left. To literally, the article said, pick through the carcass. And this kid wants to compare Ripple to FTX. That's just a sneak peek of what's coming tomorrow. God bless them. That's the type of misinformation that we're dealing with, though. Guys literally comparing Ripple to FTX. It's unbelievable. Now, major right here. Former Ripple partner, MoneyGram, now partnered up with Stellar, says they are proud to support our partners at Stellar on the launch of the Stellar Aid Assist, a first-of-its-kind blockchain-powered aid disbursement system that delivers relief funds quickly, affordably, and efficiently to individuals in crisis. So, this is a pretty cool deal here. What this is this is through the UN. The UN providing aid to Ukraine. And they are using a Stellar-based aid disbursement solution to assist the people of Ukraine. Okay? So basically, they're sending USDC through a Stellar-based aid disbursement solution. Okay? And then MoneyGram here has partnered up here. Rescue.org has also teamed up with Stellar Aid Assist, powered by the Stellar Network, Circles USDC, and MoneyGram to provide cash-based humanitarian assistance for conflict-affected people in Ukraine. Okay? That's good. We like to see that. That's fantastic. That's why we hold a little bit of XLM in our bag. Now, moving from digital silver to physical silver, check this one out, folks. This is why we got our shiny little rock right here. Check it out. After my 2.5-year tour of duty in Nuremberg, Germany ended in 1979, I came home with my wife. I watched silver run from $5 to $50. I'd been interested in silver since I was a boy, and it was the money we used. Now, 43 years later, silver's down over 50%, while America's debt is up 35-fold. Now, just think of that for a second, guys. 43 years later, from the time that silver was trading at $50, silver's down 50%, and it just went on a run. I mean, it's just recently started to break out here in the last couple months, back above $20. But we see that silver's down 50%, while America's debt is up 35-fold. Now, Nathaniel Rothschild chimes in here, and he says silver to 600. How about that? Now, I don't know about silver to 600. I do think silver can definitely hit 3 digits easily. Major suppression. But how interesting that is, right? And that just goes to show you the suppression. 43 years later, silver down 50%, America's debt up 35-fold. Now, and I'm about to show you guys, here in America, our situation's been fine and dandy. Like I said, throughout this summer, I said the situation was getting pretty ugly out there. But meanwhile, America, we've been chilling. We've been riding it out. We've been doing just fine. The situation is breaking down much faster in these other countries. Specifically, I'm going to show you guys right here. We're talking about Peru. Check this out. Wall Street Silver. In Peru, the people start to fight back against the Fed WEF globalist coup d'etat. Peru is the world's 3rd largest producer of silver. So if we look at this, there's a clip. Obviously, we have a little bit of chaos in the streets, okay? And there is a little bit of a tizzy going on because of the elections that just took place there in that country. But I think it is also interesting to note there that Peru is the 3rd largest producer of silver, okay? So that's an interesting other data point to add in there. Another country right there that is seeing chaos hit the streets. Another country that is seeing an agenda, an outside force, overthrow their country. Now we move on over. And like I said, these other countries are having to break down. They're breaking down faster, and they're having to print way more. This is a chart of Turkey's money supply. This one from Omer. Turkey's money supply looks super healthy and sustainable. This chart is literally insane, guys. Check this out. All the way down here from about 200 billion all the way up to 8 trillion. How about that? How about that money supply growth? So while you have us in America growing our debt 35-fold, you got Turkey going from 200 billion money supply all the way up to 8 trillion. You're seeing the breakdown in these countries, right? And this is why people are confused, because they're looking at the price of silver. They're looking at the price of this thing. They're looking at the price of gold compared to USD. Now, the US dollar has been in a unique position while the rest of the world's been breaking down with an energy crisis and a debt and liquidity crisis hitting those countries faster, and a currency crisis hitting countries like Turkey faster. Here in the United States, the dollar has been a flight to safety has occurred. Everyone's been coming back to the dollar because it's the cleanest shirt in the closet. So that is why the dollar paired up against gold and silver is farther off from the all-time high versus other currencies where gold and silver have already reached back to all-time high against the British pound, against the euro, against others. Why people in countries like Turkey might not even be using their native currency anymore. They might be using silver, gold, and other forms of trade, essentials, trading food, whatever they can get their hands on. And why people are hitting the streets, right, is because, even if you got a little bit of silver, you still got to be able to feed your family too. And, that's why we talk about essentials prepping, get our business up, then we invest in crypto, and then we have some precious metals and real estate as well. We cover all of our bases. And we understand while we're sitting here in America, while it's all been fine and dandy, the reality is much, much different from that. Now, check out this. This is the final data point here for tonight. Wall Street Silver. The Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia estimates that the employment data was vastly overstated in 2022. 10,000 jobs added instead of 1.1 million reported from March to June of 2022. The elections are over, so now this can be corrected. Isn't that just hilarious how that works? Now that the elections are over, we can go back and adjust all of these numbers. Only 10,000 jobs versus a reported 1.1 million. That is a completely different reality. That is a sense of delusion for the American people. They continue to say that we're not in a recession. Folks, this is the situation here. Some of these people aren't even showing up. They're not even participating. And now the people that aren't even participating aren't even included in those numbers and the unemployment data. Another way that they manipulate the unemployment numbers, right? These are people that are just on the sidelines, not even trying to get a job. I forget what the most recent number that I heard was. It's like, the real unemployment number is probably higher than 25% in this country, right? So meanwhile, they're debating on whether or not we're in a recession, right? And we're seeing the truth here. United States debt up 35-fold. Real job numbers, 10,000 versus 1.1 million, right? And it's all getting exposed. And like my mentor continues to say, it couldn't get any better for us. This situation could not get any better for us. My mentor, Dan Pena, says there's only, 4 or 5 good things that have ever happened to him in his life. His wife, at the birth of his couple, 2-3 children, Corona, and then recently, within the last within the last year, the raising of interest rates. So Dan Pena, my mentor, he says the only 5 good things that have ever happened to him in his life has been his wife, his couple kids, Corona, because of the opportunity that brought, and then finally the raising of interest rates. Folks, it is the perfect storm for those of us that have been tapped in, for those of us that have been prepared, and we're taking massive action every single day. Like I said, continuing to start our side hustle, continuing to grow our business, figuring out how we can build our real estate portfolios, how to properly invest in the real estate asset class, and stacking cash on the sidelines for the deals that are about to come online over the next 12 to 18 months, and taking advantage of cryptocurrencies before groups like the Bank of International Settlements endorse crypto We've already stacked our bags of these utility cryptocurrencies that the banks and financial institutions are actually going to need. See, that's the big difference between the cryptos that we've invested in and the rest of this space. Our currencies, our utility, our solutions, our liquidity is what these financial institutions need. It's not a hope and a prayer and a cute narrative. No. It's solving massive trillion-dollar problems. That's what we've invested in. You combine that with our fundamental analysis that led us to believe that, hey, these assets have been suppressed. We might want to acquire some of these precious metals that not only act as a hedge and can preserve some of our wealth, but we do see a massive opportunity for upside because of how suppressed they've been, right? And then at the very beginning, we talked about essentials in our prepping because we got to make sure. You don't got to be a crazy prepper to understand that this inflation is not going away. Okay? Got to be able to take care of our family. Got to be able to get it done. No excuses. Here I am tonight, sweating through this session with you guys as I just get over the most recent bug. I don't even know. I've barely gotten sick in the last 2 years. Thank God. Thank God that I have barely gotten sick in the last 2 years. I've had the snivels like twice, literally. And then just recently over the past, last little couple days, caught some sort of weird bug, but had me down and out yesterday. I had like pains and aches and temperatures, fever. And I had to be sidelined for a day, so I apologize. But we're back here tonight reporting the good news that we are ahead of the game. Not only all of our conspiracy theories have they been proven right, but we had to take it further than that with our investments, with our business. See, for me, it wasn't enough to just say, oh yeah, we were right about our little theories that we were talking about 10 years ago, our little theories that we were talking about 2 years ago when this program got released on us, this test. It wasn't about just being right. It's about creating generational wealth from this opportunity. So like I said, I have empathy for those that aren't going to make it, that are good people, middle-class folks that did the right things, that, tried to make it happen. But they were misled. They were misled by the likes of Kevin O'Leary and the rest of the Wall Street shills, the rest of the 401k retirement program failure. As we just covered in the last stream, right? The worst year on record for bonds, one of the worst years in history for the 60-40 portfolio, which is what the Wall Street boys and girls will show you guys, will tell you what you should be doing with your 401k retirement. One of the worst years in history for the 60-40 portfolio, which is 60% equities, 40% bonds. Worst year ever for bonds. One of the worst years ever for equities. One of the worst years ever for the S&P, which is one of the main index funds that they tell you to hold. Meanwhile, our precious metals are breaking out. Our cryptocurrencies are primed for a massive, massive breakout. And we continue to grow our conviction by seeing groups like the Bank of International Settlements endorse the very assets that we've been packing for years. Now, you guys already know the deal. If you haven't heard already, I have an affiliate down below for rolling over your 401k retirement accounts to precious metals. So if you are looking to do that, the link on down below, the precious metals link, will take you to my partner affiliate who will help you guys roll over your retirement account, your 401k, whatever your retirement account is, over to precious metals. If you're looking to get that done, I highly encourage you to start the process because it is it does take some time. Okay. You got to close out your accounts with Fidelity, Morgan Stanley, whatever Wall Street shills whatever Wall Street program you were tied up in. And then it takes some time to roll it over. So I'd encourage you guys to start the process if you are interested. It's in the link down below, or if you just head to my website, it's at the very top of my website, that precious metals link, and that'll help you guys roll over your retirement account to precious metals and preserve some of that wealth, preserve some of that money. Now, they also will ship precious metals to your house if you want to hold the precious metals yourself. But my partner, they only do big purchases. So you got to have $20,000 liquid cash savings, and you got to be willing to make a minimum investment of $5,000. So my partner down below is not for buying just 10 ounces of silver, not for making a little purchase. But if you're a big hitter and you want to make a big bet, make a big purchase, my partner on down below will help you guys get that done. Myself, I go to my local dealer if I'm looking to just stack up a little bit of silver, and I continue to encourage you guys for small purchases. I think the best thing that you can do is establish a relationship with a local dealer. There are some reputable sources for buying online. If you have one, that's cool. But like I said, I like to have a relationship with my local dealer, because if the time does come to potentially, sell some of our silver, some of our precious metals, I want to have my reputation with that dealer that I'm a real player. I have, real silver that I bought from you that I'm, going to be willing to sell back to you when silver goes to $100 plus an ounce. Right. So, that's why I highly recommend everyone establish a relationship with your local dealer. And if you are looking to roll over your 401k retirement account, if you're looking to move over those big chunks, my partners on down below will help you do so. Okay. Now, let's see, we've been live here for 56 minutes. Let me spend a few more minutes here taking questions. What are you guys working with? TikTok, YouTube, thank you so much. If you guys haven't already, please smash that thumbs up for me. Greatly appreciate it. Okay. Thank you so much. Boy, I tell you what, I'm still not at 100%. I thought I was good to go. This session has worn me out, man. I was sweating through this thing. I feel like I wasn't as smooth either. But that's all right. That's all right. We're going to continue to show up, guys. Every day. Every day. What are your thoughts on the mandatory forced buyback? What about exclusion of non-financial and banking institutions? Well, they did it with gold. So that's the precedent that we have, is that they did it with gold. And that's why we're making our claim. People are confused about the buyback proposal, which, speaking of the buyback proposal, here's my red folder. Uh-oh. The confidential committee. What it's all about is making our claim in, God forbid, the event that they did some sort of forced buyback. One sec, folks. Hello? All right, folks, I apologize. We're still running business right now. It's a late night session. We got the guys out spreading ice melt. So the hustle don't stop around here. We got to keep it moving. What are we working with, guys? Where did I leave off? Okay. So in regards to the buyback, the reason why we're making our claim, you had us worried. No, I'm all good. It was just one of my guys calling me. So in regards to the buyback, the reason why we are having the committee and everything, is because we got to make our claims early, loud, and often in the event that we get shortchanged for our XRP like they did with gold. That's the reason for it. It's about understanding our rights as XRP token holders and protecting that and getting paid our fair value for it. That's what it's about. The buyback proposal is not going to happen. It's 99.9% not going to happen. But in the event, God forbid, they take our XRP, do a forced buyback, it's labeled a hybrid security, some sort of funny business happens, we will have made our claim that, hey, we think our XRP is worth $50,000, so you need to pay us fair compensation. Now, in most cases, obviously, you know, the price there isn't the final settlement price, but at least we got a starting point. So that's the reason why. That's the reason why it's so high at 50,000. It is the XRP insurance policy. There you go, AR. That's a great way to put it. It's an insurance policy for XRP token holders. That AR, that is perfect, man. That is the perfect way to say it. What happened if you lost your keys to your wallet? Well, if you can't prove that you own the crypto max, you would probably lose it. Yeah. Did I misunderstand you say you need 10x the 50,000 buyback? No. 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 XRP is a life insurance policy. It ensures that it's a security. No. You guys are confused. Or specifically you, 913 man. I see you always posting stupid comments. See, a lot of people, and that's where I've just been trying to provide clarity on what this is all about. It's not about confidential, secret, 50K, bro. Much deeper than that. You know, and as I dropped a video, it was titled, "Can Coinbase Legally Steal Our Spark and Songbird?" And it's in regards to the UCC Article 12 rule, the take free rule. And it's all about our rights as token holders. It's very important. How are you doing, brother? Sadly, I missed it tonight. Yeah, you can rewatch it on YouTube. We just went for about 50 minutes or so. By the way, we got the new XRP merge. I don't know if you guys saw it. This is just part of what's on the way. Just part of what's on the way. Okay. I wanted the solid though, without the tie-dye, and I liked it. This is one of my favorite logos. I gotta get my let me get my mic out of my way. I love this one. The Phoenix rising from the ashes. Guys, honestly, I'm pretty much good. I think I'm just still a little tired. A little weak still. Not completely at 100%. Actually, yesterday I wanted to do a session so badly, but I was going to do it sitting down because I had all my aches and my pains in my legs. And so I was going to just do my session sitting down because I was committed. I was like, I need to do my Thursday night session, but wifey wouldn't let me. Something about if you sit on the couch all day, you're not allowed to do a live stream. I don't know why. Would you buy FTX or XRP? Yeah, that's a good one. I hold XRP, but I do have some doubts. Guys, there's no reason to have doubts. I mean, there's reason to have doubts in the rest of this space. Okay, what are you guys' concerns? I want to answer some of the concerns that you guys got. Like missing school and going to hockey practice. That was me. That was me back in the day. Whoa, 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 whoa. The gaming lunatic. Yo, the gaming lunatic just went crazy. Dropped $100 super chat in some currency. I have no idea what currency that is. Is there any chance that the financial institution might use a federated sidechain and not use the main chain on the XRP ledger and we never see a price change? Yeah, no, they definitely could use a federated sidechain for sure, but they would still need XRP to use that federated sidechain as well. Yeah. So in that event, I think that you would still see the price move. Now, not as drastically. It's not. It would be. It's like a financial institution not using XRP exclusively, right? But they would have to use some XRP to run a sidechain. So I do believe that you would see a price change. You would see a bump in that. Gaming lunatic. Good question though, and I appreciate that big time super chat. What currency is that, by the way? I've never seen that currency ticker. Is that Indian rupees? Like someone said, that's like 4 cents. No, shout out to my brothers and friends over there in India. I love to see it, man. What did we just get? We have everyone in the chat. The most recent one was Saudi Arabia. I love to see it. Love to see it. And major adoption over in India. Major partnerships with Ripple in India over there. That's big time. Big time. India needs XRP. India needs a solution like XRP big time. Be massive for that country. Are you moving all your crypto into cold storage? All my crypto, well, most of my crypto's off exchanges. Paul Campo, I appreciate that super chat. RE buyback. If we get US CBDC worth, say, 10K, what if your social credit score is low? Do they restrict your ability to use that CBDC? Yeah, so that's the big thing, right? Is part of that is also saying what we want to get paid in. And for me, I don't want US fiat. I don't want USD. I don't want CBDC control system. So, if the CBDC is going to be backed by silver, if it's going to be backed by gold, if it's going to be backed by XRP, if it's going to be backed by something else, if it's going to be on open, permissionless, decentralized ledger that's, going to have respect for our privacy and our security, okay, I'd be fine using that. I'm not against CBDC. I'm not against the idea of a CBDC. I'm against some of the capabilities of a CBDC. And I think that's a big discrepancy there. The CBDC is just technology, and it would be a good tech. I mean, for crying out loud, guys, we're all sending digital money anyways. As far as banning cash, well, I'm not rooting for us to ban cash. I don't want to see them ban cash, but I'm not a hater of the idea of a CBDC, of that technology, because that's all it is it's just technology. But the capabilities of it, that's what is worrisome to me. And that's what's unacceptable to me. So, if the Fed wants to pay me in, $50,000 worth of fiat trash USD, well, at today's price, I'd probably take that, honestly. I would be lying if I said I wouldn't give them some of my XRP for 50,000 USD trash funny money. But it's a great point, and that's what we're up against. That's the battle that we're up against, is we got to fight, because the CBDC is good technology, but there's capabilities of it that turn it evil, right? I mean, it's the same thing with US dollar. You can use the US dollar for good, but then we have crimes against humanity that are facilitated using the US dollar as well. It's the same premise. Just because bad people use the US dollar doesn't mean that we ban the dollar, right? Samson Grinder 5 spot, thank you. I was moving some XRP to my ledger, realized I was holding Binance wrapped XRP. Know what you hold, was swapping BNB for XRP on MetaMask, fixed it. That's a great point. Thank you for the super chat there, Samson. People have been asking me about wrapped XRP on Binance, and no. I was saying, nope, you want real XRP, and you want to get it the hell off of Binance. So yeah, I'm glad that you were able to do so, Samson. That's a great point. Never been a fan of the wrapped XRP. No. Who wins the World Cup tomorrow? Well, the expose how much of an American I am. I don't watch soccer. Well, I don't watch sports at all, actually. But I've not watched any of the World Cup, and I will not be watching any of the World Cup. And I think that soccer's keep it, man. It's, respect to those that play soccer, though, because I could never play that sport, man. I have a heart condition which limits my lung capacity, functions, and ability to run long distances for a continuous amount of time. So I could never do good at soccer, which is probably why I didn't like it. But soccer's boring, man. I don't like soccer. I'm sorry to the soccers and to the international crowd in the chat that loves soccer. I know soccer's worldwide is the most popular sport, but I think it's kind of silly, personally. Paul Campbell, thank you for the 2 spot. I meant we'd need buyback to be unrestricted. Well, we need to make our claims loud, early, and often, and we need to make our proposal, which in this proposal, you get tax forgiveness and you get debt forgiveness. So that's another part of the proposal. So if you were if we were going to do the deal today, even though I'm trying to get away from the US dollar system, I want other assets with real value. If we were to do the deal today, and the Fed said you can turn in your XRP today, get 50,000 USD per XRP, and get all debt forgiveness, and not have any tax liability, I would give them a few of my little XRP. I'd give them a couple. Here you go, Jerome Powell. Baseball is the most boring to watch. What do you think of the Trump digital cards? I mean, it's a disappointment. It's a joke. It's just a joke. But I think that it does show kind of a turn in Trump's stance for crypto. So when he does become president again, maybe we're going to see a different stance on cryptocurrencies. He said that he's going to be inaugurated again. That's not my words. Trump said in his speech the other day. He had 2 announcements. People missed that. He had one announcement about the NFTs, and then he had another announcement about the free speech. And in that free speech, if you go back and listen to it, he says, when I'm inaugurated, I think he says within days after I'm inaugurated, I wish Zach would read my comments. JRB, I apologize, my friend. I got 500 in YouTube. I got 100 in TikTok and a whole bunch of comments. I'm trying to. JRB is on point. Someone just said JRB is on point. Okay, JRB. XRP is agnostic and has no counterparty risk by its mere existence and utility It serves as a de facto peg to all currency everywhere. Perfectly said, JRB. Great. Great. Perfectly said. Which to that point, don't get it twisted, guys. In regards to this buyback, the very first time I talked about the buyback, I made it very clear. I start my negotiations at end the Federal Reserve. I start my negotiations at, you shouldn't even be across the table from me, Jerome Powell. I want Rosie Rios in the Treasury across the table from me. That's who I should be dealing with. I know Rosie's not at the Treasury anymore, but you guys get my point. The Treasury Department is who we should be doing this deal with, which is why I was glad to see that in the new proposal, they are addressing it at the Treasury Department as well. And the new proposal addresses the United States corporation as a bankrupt corporation. Also important. Williams, thank you for the 20 spot super chat. That is massive. I appreciate the support there, Williams. Do you think that silver or XRP will be the best place to store value long term? I don't believe the BRICS will ever come to agreement on a singular currency, as they are all for themselves. That means another currency asset will. It's a good question. I appreciate that. I believe that potential upside is going to be in cryptocurrencies. Well, specifically, you're asking XRP versus silver. I think that XRP has more potential for gains, but I am looking at both as a way to preserve wealth, because I think that both will stabilize in price in the new system. So if the thing about XRP is it is more risky than silver, in my opinion, but both will be stabilized after all of the suppression, all of the games, after all the manipulation is over and we get the new financial system and we get the level playing field. They're both going to be effective store of values. Yeah, William Carr, exactly. I just addressed that. Yep, the buyback should be the Treasury, absolutely. Rosemary Morgan, thank you for the Canadian funny money. My Canadian friends up there, God bless you all. Thank you for that super chat. The $13.99. Rosemary Morgan, I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Rosemary. Dan, thank you. Yes, thank you. I will. I should be back to 100% here tomorrow. I came back in sending shots though. You guys saw me today. I was gonna add this to tonight's live stream, but I wanted to make a whole separate video. So tomorrow I'm gonna be dropping my response where I completely dissect and destroy this guy's comments about calling Ripple a house of cards and comparing it to FTX. God bless him. I put out the warning tonight just to put him on notice. Tomorrow we go in for the kill. Metaphorically speaking, of course. This is just fun on the internets. And it's all love. I'm sure he's a good guy. And it cracks me up. You guys got to see these comments from these guys. I get these comments from these other guys on TikTok. These other little confused guys that we call them. They're good guys, but they're confused. They say, whoa, bro, you better watch out. Before you go after him, man, you better look into him. He's a quant for some billion-dollar hedge fund. Oh, God bless them, man. I get so much joy out of these guys. They crack me up. Oh, man, look out. He's a quant. Oh, my gosh. He punches numbers for the real hitters. These guys crack me up. The gaming lunatic, let's go. We got some rupees getting dropped tonight. 200 Indian rupees from the gaming lunatic. God bless you, brother. God bless you. Here's a secret sauce. India and China are hunger Our hunger for each other's blood still going on border conflicts even now. They're only doing BRICS because they all hate the dollar supremacy. Yeah, that's one thing that they can't agree upon, right? They can agree that they both hate the dollar, but then at the border, although, correct me if I'm wrong, Gaming Lunatic, and maybe you guys in the chat understand this. I heard that the most recent skirmishes that were shown on the border were actually from last summer. So I don't know why people, it's the internet, man. So these rumors get perpetuated. But I heard that like the clips that were being shown of India and China battling at the border again were from last summer, actually, and not just recently. Which I hope that's the case, because I hope, man, I pray for peace across this whole country. And God, this is why I have invested in XRP. This is why I got my precious metals. And this is why I tried to build a legitimate business that is built on a foundation of just doing right in your community, because I just want peace on this planet. For my daughter, for my children, for your community, wherever you're tapped in from tonight, whether that's India and you're dropping hundreds of rupees in the chat tonight, God bless you. I'm going to go look at the conversion. It's going to be like $2 US. I appreciate the support nonetheless, brother. Appreciate it big time. Thank you. Nah, but these guys crack me up, man. Oh, watch out, bro. You better check this guy out. These guys are hilarious. Oh. How is you saying 50,000 XRP not a rumor? You don't know for sure. Eric says that I'm spreading rumors. You're spreading rumors that can literally ruin families, but don't recognize that. Well, it's not a rumor. It's a real proposal. It was already proposed last year at $37 per XRP. This time around, it's getting proposed at more. Now, just to trigger you in the chat a little bit even more, Eric, the value that they come up with is actually valuing XRP at $1 million in 2030. It's just that they're prorating XRP's price to today. So if they did the deal today, it would be 50,000 per coin. But the closer that we get to 2030, the higher the price goes up, because it's based off of, I forget what the term is called. It's like XRP V10, which is basically valued 10 years out, which is basically 2030. And that's $1 million per XRP. So if you weren't offended already, there you go. There you go. But I mean, it's not a rumor. And it's not like I'm telling people to FOMO into XRP because a group of us guys have our red folders in a confidential committee and we're cool and we think our XRP is worth 50K. Go all in on XRP, return your kids' Christmas gifts and buy XRP. We've never said that. No way. No way. That cannot be possible, Paul. Paul says 200 rupees is almost 4 cents. No way. That's awesome. Making it rain. What do you think about Stellar? Big fan. If you haven't already, check out my XLM deep dive. How do you feel about XRPnet built on the XRP ledger? Well, Kenny, if you've seen some of my most recent videos, we called out XRPnet, how it had been pumped and how it was going to dump. My original warning was on December 4th. Okay. So to this guy in the chat here, Eric, who says that I'm ruining families, I gave out a free signal for everybody. You don't have to buy my Discord. You don't got to buy my trading course. You don't got to pay me shit. You pull up and you listen to me every night, and I get you tapped in on the truth. We called it out. XRPnet was at 0.008. Dropped all the way down to 0.003, getting smacked by over 60%. And I called it on that very day. A free signal. But yet the haters say that we're ruining families. Now, in regards to XRPnet utility, that's a different conversation. I'm hoping that I can maybe get the CEO on there, the founder of XRPnet, onto my show, because I'd like to ask him some questions. And you guys know me, I'm not interested in softball. I'm not interested in being your friend. Are you building real utility, or are you full of shit? That's the conversation that I'm looking to have with these guys. So we'll see if he makes an appearance or not. But yeah, as far as the utility, it's cute. It's cute. TikTok just gave me a notice. Great job. You've gone live for 90 minutes. Don't forget to take a break. Yeah, folks, it is about time to wrap up this session. I'm going to get rested up, recoup, re-energize before we light up this guy who literally compared XRP Ripple to FTX. Unbelievable. But yeah, folks, I appreciate everyone for tuning in with me tonight. Another fun session. We're going to be back at it tomorrow, so make sure you guys hit that notification bell. Make sure you guys get ready. We're going to be dropping a lot of content. Like I said, we got deep dives on the way. We're going to be finishing off our business development program. If you are looking to get tapped in there, you can join the Discord group at my website, at the Patreon. And oh, by the way, I want to make sure everyone knows this. I recently just gave everyone a little bit of a deal. Patreon allowed me to discount. If you sign up for a year membership of the Discord group, you will get a 16% discount on your membership fee. And I'm going to be throwing in a free one-on-one session with myself, a 30-minute one-on-one session if you sign up before the end of the year. And a final extra bonus, talk to your tax professional about writing off the cost of the Discord group, because we're talking about business education. It is a way to continue your business development and education as well. So you may be able to write it off with your tax accountant and professional. Make sure you ask him, okay? But if you sign up and if you pay for a year in advance, I'm going to be including a free one-on-one 30-minute session with myself where we can hang out, talk about your business, talk about your investments, whatever you want to talk about. We can run it up for 30 minutes, just one-on-one, me and you, okay? So I just recently had a couple people take advantage of that, and I figured that I wanted to add a little incentive, add a little bonus for those that take advantage of that. I appreciate all the support, okay? And if you guys haven't already, please smash that thumbs up for me on the way out, okay? And I will see you guys tomorrow, okay? God bless you all. Thank you. Oh, wait, hold up. My man. We got another massive super chat. Another 200 rupees from the gaming lunatic. Says, mark my words, India will have things going on like it is in China, like the crushing of common people and communism. India launched e-rupee CBDC in 4 major cities. 100 rupees equals 1.2 USD. My man. I appreciate the support. God bless you. If, I think that India could benefit. They already got partnered up. Some of the biggest banks in India have already been working with Ripple, but I think that they could definitely benefit from that technology, and they could definitely use it to their advantage. And I know that you guys love your gold over there too. You guys are doing good. You guys are doing well. All right, guys, I'm out of here for the night. God bless you all. Thank you.